Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Now, I'm giving you an update. I'm coming to give you an update on my recovery process. Guys, it's not easy coming on um, here. Uh, I have some things challenges that's going on. Say, for instance, after I had the surgery, and I came out, come home, slept a whole day, slept 2 whole days. That's what anesthesia had me, doing once I came out of surgery. I just slept. I woke up to go to the bathroom, take medication, drink my water, and eat any food that I could eat. And I had to get back in the bed. I always stayed in the bed. I couldn't get out of bed, you know. But one thing is now my sleeping pattern is totally off. Yesterday, I hadn't slept a whole night in 24 hours. And then when I did fall asleep, uh, I fell asleep for quite a while. And then I woke up this morning at about 9 something. And I said my morning prayer. That's something that um, I had, you know, I hadn't been doing, since the surgery. And I don't know, I'm trying to think was my morning prayer off in California too? I don't think so. I can't remember that much right now. Um, but I was able to wake up this morning and I said my morning prayer, and I was so happy about that. And, you know, after I woke up, I, you know, took my time, but then I made my way to the bathroom and I took care of my hygiene, and I I have to clean these incisions on my breast. Uh, you see that imprint right there? That's the tape that's going across, right? If you can see that, that's the imprint of the where they did the incision, and I have, some I have to put antibiotic ointment, which is this stuff. This is the packaging for it. If you could see that, that's what I'm putting on. You see, I'm running out of. Well, anyway, my son is going to have to go to the pharmacy and pick up my second tubing. The doctor prescribed 2 of those. Those are antibiotic ointments that I have to put on my incision until they run out. And the anesthesia had my face breaking out. My face is still breaking out. You can't see. You can see the redness. Not that much. But the shiny stuff is this. Okay, so I have to clean my face, and I go to the dermatologist, and this is before my surgery, so that I can take care of my skin, my scalp, and my skin. So this is what my dermatologist prescribed to me. Well, y'all probably looking at it backwards, I'm not sure. But anyway, you get the gist of it. This is what I put on my face to clean my face with. And this is what I use, that shiny stuff on my face when my skin is breaking out. And the anesthesia have my skin on my face breaking out. So, it peels and it's a little bit red around there. So I've been uh, taking care of my skin, taking care of these incisions. And one thing that I want y'all to know is that after you go through a surgery, I'm going to say a surgery, but I've only had breast surgery and I've had 3 sons. I had 3 children, gave birth to 3 children. And, those giving birth is, so distant that I could barely remember the pain. I could barely remember, what I went through. So the only thing that I have to go off of right now is when they found out that I had breast cancer in both my breasts. And they removed the breast cancer. So I am a breast cancer survivor. And when they removed the cancer from my breast, they put lifters in so that my, my breast wouldn't heal up like a sore, like a scab on a sore, where, it just heals up. And I didn't want that to happen with me because I didn't want to be flat chested, because I didn't want to look like a man. I didn't want, to, have a man be interested in me. And, if we ever became intimate, what he would see is a flat chest like his, and making me look like a man, like a man. And I didn't want that. I am a female. I love being a woman, and I love my femininity. And some say I'm a little bit vain. Yes, sometimes I am. But, but when you're sick and you don't have control over your faculties, your whole body, you don't care how you look. You don't care what people see, ass out and everything. But if I can, I'm gonna try to look presentable. On camera, off camera, I don't care. This is the way that I was raised. My grandmother raised me, and this is how she raised me. Now, I'm not going to say my mother didn't have her turn in raising me, but mostly I was with my grandmother or my godmother, but anyway, I was raised old school, even though I have a new school soul with a lot of ways about me. But, yeah, so my skin was breaking out. It still is. And you can see how my face is shining. I have that ointment on my face to help me with my face peeling and being flaky and all of that. So now, at first, it was hard for me to hold this phone because I'm videotaping from my phone, and I know that I have a tripod. It was hard for me to lift my arms up to put the phone in the tripod. The tripod was even heavy, no matter how lightweight it usually is. It was everything was too heavy for me. And as far as being able to raise my arms, you know, uh, it's it's not that easy to be able to raise my arm because that even hurts. You know, it's not that easy to raise my arms, but I'm working on it. I'm practicing. I can't pick up anything 10 pounds or over. Picking up the pot or the skillet to go and cook something for myself when there's nobody here to help me. Um, that was heavy. It was like picking up a 10-pound weight, just the skillet. And the way that I walk, I'm walking better. I was walking bent over because I know y'all saw me, well, those who have been viewing my channel. I know you have seen me uh, go to my doctor appointment and I had to use my walker. And y'all didn't see me walk with the walker, but I showed y'all that I had the walker so that I can stay up and walk those long distance. I don't need to use the walker in my home because in my home I can pretty much, um, it's not long distance to go from my bed to the bathroom or from my bathroom to the kitchen or from to go in my living room because my apartment is a small apartment. So uh, I can be embarrassed about walking all hunched over, like on the Addams Family, uh, Chester, Chester or something. He walked all bent over, hunchback and stuff like that. That's how I'm walking. But it's not as bad as it was because um, at one point, oh God, I could barely stand up straight, period. I was almost at my knees walking. So it walking with the walker helps me with my back because uh, walking bent over like that was hurting my back. It was hurting my spine. So I needed to have some kind of support to help me, uh, with that. And as far as making videos, guys, this is the first time that I've been able to hold this. I have a selfie stick, and I have both hands holding this selfie stick because, some things are still a little bit heavy for me to pick up. Now, pick up, hold, or carry, or whatever. But I try. I try. You know, I force myself. I push myself. Not that much, but I push myself to do certain things because I can't clean up, and it drives me crazy. I can't, I could, now I could, wash myself off, but I still need assistance in the bathtub, but I can't sit in the bathtub taking a soak in the bathtub, not yet, but I can take a shower. And even when I take a shower, I still need assistance. I need somebody there for me to help me to do those things. Um, Now, let me tell you, as I go through this process, I think about when they first told me I had cancer, when I first was diagnosed. And I started a YouTube channel called Traveling the Unknown. And I was documenting my, you know, my progress, my steps, everything. I was documenting that and I put it on YouTube. And guys, that channel had became monetized. And you know, I tried to uh, do what I could on that channel. And then one all of a sudden, uh, 3 months after they took the lifters out of my breast after breast cancer surgery, and they put the um, the silicone into my breast areas so that I could look like a woman again, but they didn't do the job correctly. And that was in 2022, toward the end. Let me see. No, yeah, I was in 2022. I was supposed to have the surgery, and I postponed it, and then they postponed it themselves. So it brought me into early. Uh, uh, it brought me into 2023. So 2023, I was supposed to have the surgery. It was scheduled, and I had to call it off because I had become homeless, and I wasn't going to be able. Everything was uncertain. I didn't know what was going to happen, and so I wind up uh, 3 months after they took the lifters out and put the silicone in my breast. I had become homeless. And that's another story for another time. But I've told that story. And guys, y'all can go back to my previous videos and, where I'm talking about these things. Go back and look at those videos, and then you'll know, because for new people, I do talk about this again when I'm trying to talk about something else, and you don't understand, the new people don't understand, and unless I talk about bits and pieces of the story to let them understand, for those who already heard the story, you know they hear me repeating myself, and that's only because of the new people that are on the channel and don't know the story. But I'd like for them to go back and look at previous videos that where I do talk about this story. But I became homeless. I didn't have the surgery. And, I was homeless for 6 months. And, within that time, I got myself together and I was able to get back in college. Uh, I was at a HBCU, Texas Southern University, here in Houston, Texas. And uh, I started having complications with my breast again. And oh my God. So finally, it was so painful, so excruciating that I had to stop going to school. And, I was hoping that I would be able to just pause temporarily and go back. But, medically, I wasn't able to do that. So I started going in and out of the hospital. And uh, then all of a sudden, it stopped. Yeah. And then I went and visited my brother in Maryland. And I was good for 2 days. And then the rest of the week, I was not feeling good. As a matter of fact, I had to go to urgent care. But when I came back to Texas, I came to my doctor. Nobody could say, oh, they couldn't say, well, what was happening, why I was feeling that way, because the pain had stopped and they needed to understand what was happening. I don't understand why they didn't understand. I, okay, so I stopped going to school, and but I had uh, joined, or I found the doctor at MD Anderson Hospital. And first, I was just going to the oncologist at MD Anderson to, examine me to help find out what was going on. So they said, well, why don't we set you up with a plastic surgeon here and, let the plastic surgeon here help you out. So they introduced me to my doctor, the plastic surgeon who did this surgery. So once I saw the plastic surgeon and she was able to see what was wrong with me just by me telling her what was happening. So she said, let's go in and take those out and redo some things. And I said, okay. So she said once she did the surgery, she went in and it was worse than what she could imagine. That, um, and she had more work to do to correct what the previous doctor had done. But she didn't say it word verbatim like that. I'm saying it like that because from one doc, they're not going to badmouth each other. That's what I see. They're not going to badmouth each other. So she just let me know she had more work than what she imagined uh, when she went in and saw what she had to do. And that was the pain that I was feeling. All of that, what I kept telling people, doctors, nurses, uh, trying to explain to them something is wrong. So when this doctor went in and she, you know, fixed whatever it was that needed to be fixed, and I don't feel those pains, but but I am still feeling pain from the surgery. I am still swollen from the surgery. Um, I'm gonna heal, and at first it was hard for me to talk because I would get winded. It was hard for me to hold anything, the camera. It was hard for me to walk. It was hard for me to focus. It was hard for me to stay awake. I'm sleepy right now, but it was hard for me to stay awake. It was hard. Everything was a challenge. So uh, I am building myself back up little by little. And I've been bringing you guys with me to my doctor appointments. I've been trying to keep you guys uh, abreast of what's going on with me so that I can continue to bring you content, and so that you guys can understand, you know, why I'm not as consistent like I was before. Because before I was uploading videos every single day, Monday through Friday. At one time I was even doing it on a Saturday or a Sunday. So that was 6 days that I was uploading videos, and then it got to the point to where I was being tired, you know, exhausted sometimes, making that many videos in a week. And I cut back only a day. So, I've been before now, I had been uploading videos Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday I would be off, from YouTube. So, excuse me. So, uh, now I'm doing my best to bring you guys as much as I can, and so that I can let you guys know how I'm doing. And no, I'm not giving up on YouTube. I love YouTube. I love coming to YouTube and bringing content to YouTube. One thing that has done for me, it helped me build up my confidence level. Because when you go through surgery and lose your breast, lose your confidence, it feels like losing your womanhood. It feels like, I could go on and on and on, how it feels that something has been taken away from me. And, you know, that does something to your mind, your mindset. And I'm fighting for my mindset. I'm fighting for my mind. I want to be confident. I want to be able to know that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But I know that I had these things that was planned, and I had the content that I was bringing you guys, trying to learn how to do YouTube. Now, like I was saying before, my Traveling the Unknown channel was monetized. And what I didn't do, what I did wrong on that channel is I should have kept filming even in my homelessness. But I was shocked. My mind was shocked. Everything was shocked. Depression came in. Everything, anxiety. I was numb. Everybody was leading me. I was no longer in charge of my body, of my how to do anything. And this time, I didn't want to do that. So, at least I'm not homeless. I'm not going through the same things that I went through in the past. I'm handling things a little bit different. But I know that I have YouTube. And that makes me strong. It makes me want to come back with content. So the channel is going to be revamped. I'm going to bring more content, different content. Well, not that different, but so to speak, it will be. And, when I do come back, I hope that you guys are still here waiting and cheering me on like you have in the past. So, guys, I've talked almost 30 minutes, and you can tell in my eyes that I really want to go to sleep. But I want to thank each and every one of you for standing by me and being here for me, supporting me through, my recovery and my healing process. So, guys, until next time, you have a really, really marvelous day. Day, night, whatever part of the day it is. And I'll see you in the next video. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel.